Who doesn't love a good book haul? What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessie, and today I'm doing a book haul. I love watching what other people get or what they're gathering and collecting and things like that. And it's been a while since I've done a book haul on this channel. So let's go ahead and just get into the books I've accumulated over the past few months or so. Actually, more like weeks, let's be honest. I am going to go over the books that I have on my current monthly TBR for May. So some of the books that I've read that are on my TBR, I've already read. So I'm going to go ahead and go over those. If you want to hear more in-depth thoughts about what I thought about these, make sure you check out my wrap-up and also Gwen's wrap-up live show here at the end of the month. It's the last Sunday of the month. I think it's the 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The first one I got is Insomnia by Sarah Pinborough. I picked this one up just because I've been hearing a lot of buzz about it, and I'll be honest, I was not a Sarah Pinborough fan just because I read Behind Her Eyes, didn't really like it. I get why people like it. I get it. So, but this one had been getting a lot of buzz, and I actually picked this up with my friends Jordan and Gwen. Me and Jordan actually picked up a copy, but when Gwen and Jordan came and visited me, we picked this up at a local Barnes & Noble. This one follows a woman whose 40th birthday is coming up. She's a little uneasy about that, like not about the age, but because her mother had a very similar mental breakdown when she turned 40, and she's afraid that she's going to turn into her. And there's a whole lot of other stuff that went on in this one, so yeah. The next one I picked up is One Italian Summer by Rebecca Searle. This one I picked up because Haley did a wrap up, I think for the month of March or April, I can't remember, and she talked about this one and how it's, I think, one of her favorite books of the year. And I was immediately hooked when she was describing this, especially because it has to do with like mother-daughter relationships. Follows a woman whose mother recently passed away. They were planning a trip to Italy because her mom's always talked about this Italian summer that she had before she met her husband. And so like our main character's always known that story. So she goes and takes a solo trip to kind of help her grieving process. And like when she's there, she like sees her mother. So thought this was a really good book to pick up, especially around Mother's Day, which is actually when I actually read it. This one I found this on Book of the Month's website. I didn't pick it up just because it didn't sound that interesting to me, but then I started hearing a few of my friends like Haley and my friend Lena talk about how much they love this book, and I found this one in a free little library. It's The Collective by Allison Galen, and I don't know, when I read the synopsis and when I heard my friends talking about this one, they didn't sound like the same book, but maybe the synopsis just wasn't the same. But when I reread it, it sounds very similar. But I picked this one up on a whim just to see what the buzz was about. I did have this one for a video, but that video is never going to see the light of day just because, yeah, it just didn't work out. But not because of the book, just because of other things that happened, you know, in my real life. This one follows a woman whose daughter was supposedly murdered. And she has this like mental breakdown that kind of goes viral because she like makes a scene in front of the person that she believes murdered her daughter. And so she kind of gets an invite to this like online Facebook group with other grieving mothers who are going through kind of a similar situation, but things turn kind of sinister because this group is not just a grieving group. It is about basically taking revenge. So, and that's where the story kind of takes off. It was an interesting concept, and yeah, I'm glad I picked this one up. And then the book that I just finished last night, and this book took me a week and a half to finish, and not because it's a bad book, just because I have been so distracted with other things going on. Mostly it's TikTok. Like I'm telling you, I need to delete the damn app. But I just finished Book Lovers by Emily Henry. This one's really hard for me to describe, like what the plot is about. I'll go into more details during the wrap up, but I believe this one has to do with a woman named Nora. She is a literary agent, and basically her sister wants to take this trip to this city right outside Asheville, North Carolina, and kind of have this like Hallmark movie bucket list thing. she actually meets someone else that she knows in the publishing industry, and it's kind of a romance between them two, while she's also having to deal with some of her own issues with like work and her sister and herself, I guess you can kind of say. So yeah, I will give you a spoiler. I really did love this one. All right, so those are all the books that were on my TBR for the month of May. So I'm just going to go in a random order of all the books I have not read yet. So this one will probably come to no surprise. I feel like I'm slowly getting more into romances, but I'm not going to pick up books that are like all the rage, like right when they come out. I'm going to wait till I actually hear good things. So I passed up on this one and I decided to pick it up again. It's The Love Hypothesis. My coworker just recently read this and she said she believes that I would really like it. So I think this has like a fake dating trope between two scientists. I'm not sure why it's fake dating, but I've just heard really good things. This one sounds really cute. My friend also said it gets a little steamy, but it's not like just straight smut, which I don't like that in books. So I'm really, really excited to read this one. Another book of the month. This was actually my book of the month pick for the month of May. And this one may come as a surprise because this is not something that I would typically read. But it just sounds like if I'm in the right mood, it could be a good book. But I have Darling Girl by Liz. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the last name, but there's the author's name. This is a fantasy retelling of Peter Pan. I don't even know if it's a retelling. I think it's just a spin-off of Peter Pan. But this one just sounded really good. It's about a woman whose daughter, is it her daughter? I'm not even sure, but basically it's about this woman who has someone in her life. I think it's either her mother or I believe it's her daughter, but she knows for a fact that Peter Pan has kidnapped her, and it goes from there. I don't know. I have like a soft spot for Peter Pan. I think it's a very underrated Disney tale, or not even like a Disney tale. I just think it's a very underrated, you know, fairy tale. So I'm really excited to read this one whenever I get in the fantasy mood. All right, so one that I don't currently have because I have someone borrowing it is the Nameless ones. I actually did a whole vlog challenge with my husband Justin. We did a $50 Barnes & Noble challenge where he had to spend $50 on me, and he ended up picking out 2 books, and the Nameless one was one of those. I'm going to have that video linked in the cards and down below as well in case you're curious. This one I'm not 100% sure what it's about. I do know that it has like some sacrificial like elements. I don't even know if that's the right word, but it has to do with like something in Amsterdam where like people are getting sacrificed, but then like the last one, something happens with the last one. I'm not 100% sure. This was a very random pick. I do plan on reading this one, but I do have a family member borrowing this copy. So, because I'll be honest, I don't plan on getting to this one within the next few weeks. So might as well get used, right? The other one I have that Justin picked out is When You Were Mine, or excuse me, When You Are Mine by Michael Robotham. I read The Secrets She Keeps by him, and I really, really enjoyed that one. That's the only other book I've read by him. Justin picked this one out by himself. The only thing that makes me a little nervous, it has to do with like police officers and I think the mafia. So I'm really curious to see what he picked, so you may see this one in a future TBR video. The next one I picked up is Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. This is a, you know, romance. I picked this one up not knowing it's book 2 in a series, so I had to get book 1. So I have It Happened One Summer and Hook, Line, and Sinker. So I think you can read these as standalones, but you know, I have to go in order. Plus, I feel like this one has more buzz around it. So I feel like, if anything, I'm going to like this one more than this one. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure what these are about. It looks like kind of like an opposites attract type of thing just based on the cover. But I don't know. It sounds really cute. These sound like really good, like summer romance reads. So I'll be picking these up shortly. Next, I did have my friend Jacqueline, who also has a channel on here. We actually ended up hanging out the whole day. I was going to vlog and do a video, but we ended up just having such a great time. And I know she put out a video, but I was just like living in the moment, enjoying my time with her. So I will actually link her video down below where you can see where we went to a bunch of free little libraries. But one of the books she was getting rid of is an ARC, and it's a new release. It's My Wife is Missing by DJ Palmer. She was totally fine if I went ahead and took it. So I'm really excited about this one. I think this one has to do with a man who finds out that his wife and I think his children went missing, and then it looks like it wasn't like a kidnapping or anything like that. It looks like his wife just left. I'm not sure if he finds like video footage or something. So this sounded really good. I don't think Jacqueline liked this one as much, but I am really curious to pick this one up. All right, so the next one I have is When I Was 10 by Fiona Cummings. This is actually the Sleep When I'm Dead book club pick for the month of June. I will have Beth here on my channel. I'll have the date shown on the screen as well. I have a video announcing all 3 months worth of book club picks. So this is the one that me and her agreed on, which I'm super excited because this one does sound really good. I think it has to do with like two sisters and like a friend that was to the sisters, and one of the sisters actually like brutally murdered her parents, I think, and then so she got locked away into like, you know, a juvenile psychiatric hospital. The other one ended up, I think, going through like foster care. And now, like years later, I think the one that committed the murders is ready to tell the story. And I think the friend to the two little girls is like actually reporting it or something like that. I don't know. It sounds really dark and twisted. I've never read anything by this author. I think Beth picked a really good book. So yeah, make sure you tune in for the live show for that. All right, so the next ones I have, most of them I think are new releases. I think this one on top, I'm not sure when this came out. I've never heard of this book or heard of people talking about it, but it is This one is Where Secrets Lie by Eva V. Gibson. I picked this one up at my local indie bookstore here in my hometown. It just sounds really interesting. It sounds like it's like a romantic thriller, which is one of my favorite like combinations. Like I don't know what it is. I love a good romantic thriller. This one says Amy Larson has spent every summer with her cousin Ben and their best friend Teddy in River Run, Kentucky, loving country life and welcoming the break of her intensive ambitions and overwhelming mother. Until the summer, she and Teddy confront the changing feelings and simmering sexual tension growing between them, destroying the threesome's friendship in a dramatic face-off. 1 year later, Amy returns to River Run, dreading what she might find, but when Teddy's sister disappears, Amy, Ben, and Teddy agree to put their differences aside to search for her. As they dig deeper into the dark history of their small town, all three friends must unearth the truth that ties their families to tragedy, cope with their own toxic upbringings and beliefs, and atone in the damage done to one another and to themselves. Sounds really good. Like I love this cover. Like how gorgeous this is. I've never heard of this, so hopefully this is a good read because I would love to discover a gem. All right, so the next ones I know for a fact are all brand new releases. I have Hidden Pictures by Jason. Not even going to try to pronounce the author's last name because I know I'm going to butcher it, and I haven't really heard anyone say it, so I don't want to be the first person to say it wrong. So I picked this one up just because I was influenced by Gabby over at Gabby Reads. I think she read this one for her spring Flingoween readathon, and I think she really enjoyed this one. I think she gave it like 4 stars, but she said it has like that creepy kid trope, and it also has pictures in it, which I thought was really, really interesting. So I kind of want to go into this one very, very blind and see what happens. Speaking of being influenced by other YouTubers, Ashley from Ashley's Little Library, look what you made me do. So yeah, I have The Island by Adrienne McKinney. I was not interested in this one. I know this is the author of The Chain, which I've heard not so great things about, but Ashley said this one was really good. I've heard other people enjoying it. Ashley compared this one to the experience of when she read No Exit for the first time, how it was a great thriller and how she hasn't had a thrilling thriller since then. So I was like, sold. While I was picking up The Island, I also found Hide, which I did not know this came out already, but this one just, first of all, can we just admire the cover? I love a good yellow book. I feel like yellow is such an understated color, but I really like this one. And when I was picking it up in the store, I didn't realize that inside the book has like a whole amusement park map, which is so beautiful and interesting. I have no idea. I just know this one has like a challenge, maybe with like a money prize at the end, but you have to like hide in this abandoned amusement park. And I think the last one standing wins. I don't know. It's kind of giving me like Hunger Game vibes. Maybe. I have no idea what are we hiding from? Where are we hiding from? Are we killing each other? Are there zombies? Killer clowns? That would be interesting. I don't know. But this just sounds really interesting. Alright guys, that is all of the books that I have picked up recently that I can think of. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you guys have found some other books that maybe you might want to pick up. Let me know what your most recent book was that you picked up down in the comments below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. It really does help out my channel, and subscribe for more bookish content. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!